NIO became China's most valuable car brand as it released its second-gen battery swap station. But within a week of this announcement, NIO's sales tanked. Is this a realistic valuation of NIO? Is NIO as a company really worth more than BYD or Xpeng? I'll tell you my thoughts in just a second. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. Welcome to another awesome day on planet Earth with more positive EV news. GM just said they're going to build 40,000 chargers. Another company said they're going to build 200,000 chargers. Great new electric cars were released to the market. BYD announced they're selling cars in India and other countries around the world, Brazil and other places. Electric car sales reached new records in China and Europe. Things are looking pretty positive. So I just want to say a big thank you to those of you who have supported this channel from day one by watching the videos, commenting on them and liking them. It means a lot to me. In addition to that, thank you to those of you who have signed on as Patreons to the channel. Now, some people are just giving a small amount, say $1 per week, and some of you are giving a much more, $15 a week. Massive thank you to everyone, all of you doing that. I really appreciate it. And also to those of you who have decided to become members of the channel. Members of the channel get access to videos 24 hours in advance. Not all of them, but some particular videos that I deem as being, I think, special videos that I try and put more effort into. So, is NIO really worth more than BYD or Xpeng? Well, NIO, the Chinese EV maker and yet another self-proclaimed Tesla rival, has been ranked as China's most valuable car brand, just as the company has updated its battery swap stations rollout to include its second generation model. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was pretty critical about its battery swap stations. I think NIO has about 800 of them in total, something like that. That's a lot of resources and money being diverted away from electric cars into, well, just stations where they have batteries, and there's a whole lot of machinery that goes into play in these places. They're pretty impressive, actually, but whether or not they're actually necessary when, while China has the world's best EV charging network, they have a lot of EV chargers all over the place. It's more like a luxury. And to be honest, well, NIO cars are a luxury as well, so I get where they're coming from. However, when they announced that they're going to start using their battery swapping stations as energy storage and energy distribution hubs, meaning they're basically becoming an energy market player in much the same way that Tesla wants to be with its app, its energy arbitrage app, I realized that actually it's quite a smart strategy after all. But to be fair on me, NIO didn't say that they planned to do this before my videos sort of criticizing their decision to invest so much of their capital into that part of the business when they almost basically went bankrupt. NIO first unveiled its battery swap stations back in 2017, and they launched the first station in 2018 at the Nanshan High-Tech Industrial Park in Shenzhen, China. Since then, NIO has completed over 4 million battery swaps and powered over 2 billion kilometers of electric driving. Doubling down on its battery swap technology, NIO also announced in July at its first Power Day that it planned to increase its number of installed battery swap stations across 60 cities in China from 500 to 700 by the end of this year. That's aggressive. So the second generation of its battery swap station, installed at Sinopec's Chaoying station in Beijing, is part of a partnership with the Sinopec Group, basically an oil company, the largest oil and petrochemical product supplier and China's second largest oil and gas producer. Pretty smart that Sinopec is joining up with, well, a clean energy company. I mean, obviously NIO is seen as being the future. It's seen as part of the solution, not part of the problem, which is Sinopec really. So the battery swap station now has 14 battery slots, which allows for a total of 312 swaps per day. It's highly automated, the best thing about it, with 239 sensors and 4 collaborating cloud computing systems to position and conduct the battery swap as it basically moves through the machine. News of this rollout came as NIO was rated China's most valuable car brand, overtaking BYD and ahead of Great Wall Motor by the Who Run report, which was established in the late 1990s by Rupert Hoogworth, also known by his Chinese name, Who Run. Yeah, Who Run. That's his name. The report says NIO's brand value has grown by 145% from last year to RMB 71 billion, thanks largely to its ambitious expansion program, which includes a plan to deploy nearly 4,000 battery swap stations around the globe by 2025. Well, if only the stock market agreed with his report that NIO is so valuable, my shares in NIO would be worth more than they are now. Anyway, NIO also announced in August that it is planning to deliver 3 new electric vehicles in 2022 based on its NIO Technology Platform 2.0, including the already announced ET7, a flagship premium smart electric sedan. Also in August, NIO revealed its plans to introduce a budget electric car brand so as to allow it to better compete with Tesla and other EV makers, BYD, but not the Wuling Hongwan Mini or any cars in the micro segment. They're steering clear of that. Xpeng, for example. At the company's second quarter earnings call, NIO founder, chair, and CEO Li Bin said that the preparations for NIO's entry into the mass market have been accelerated, and while the name of the new brand was not revealed, Li Bin reportedly said the relationship between the NIO brand and this new brand is similar to Lexus and Toyota, Audi, and Volkswagen. Yeah, that's kind of a good analogy. I like that. Now, really, this battery swap station is a fantastic solution for buses. They wouldn't have to be loaded up with a day's worth of batteries, just enough for a trip, and some headroom, making them lighter and thus meaning they would use less power. What this would mean is you could then use these batteries during the day to charge up using solar and become basically an energy storage distribution network. So the battery swapping station could be used to power the buses or power the grid when energy is expensive, take it out, put the energy back in. When energy is cheap, take the energy out of the grid. When energy is expensive, put it back in. Operate as your own little peaker plant. And then power buses when buses need the batteries. Makes sense to me. For cars, yeah, not so much. So, is NIO really more valuable than BYD? Well, last month, by my calculations, BYD sold over 40,000 electric cars. NIO sold 3,000. But to be fair, NIO's demand is high. Apparently, the reason they sold 3,000 is because their production line was being improved, so they had to stop production in order to make the necessary adjustments on the line for new processes. But my point still stands. The previous month before that, BYD sold 70,000 new energy vehicles, of which 37,000 were fully electric cars, whereas NIO sold 10,000 electric cars only. BYD is also a battery company. In addition to that, about 40% of BYD's business is the lithium batteries that go into mobile phones and the mobile phones themselves. The other, about 30% of the company is batteries, and around about 15 to 20% is their vehicles. So vehicles make up a pretty small amount of BYD's business, and yet they're still massively outselling NIO. In addition to that, they're vertically integrated. NIO essentially is kind of an assembly company. You know, they don't use magnet to assemble their cars, but it's sort of a similar scenario. Is NIO logically worth more than BYD? No, hell no. By any possible mathematical equation you look at the two companies, there is no possible way a sane person could say that NIO is worth more than BYD. There's no possible way a sane person would even propose they're worth more than half of what BYD is worth. It's just ludicrous. I mean, BYD is poised to become the second biggest manufacturer of batteries in the world, potentially the third biggest manufacturer of EVs in the world as it is now. I mean, saying that NIO is worth more than BYD is like saying, I'm brain dead, I've got rocks in my head, you should treat me like a person who has no clue and was paid some money by some idiot to try and spruik NIO. That's basically what's happened here. Sort of an embarrassing report, and it makes the report sound like it's just totally bogus. Don't get me wrong. This is not me saying I don't like NIO. I do. I've got shares in NIO. I like the company. In fact, I've even recommended to some of my friends to buy shares in NIO. Not NIO alone. BYD as well, of course, and Xpeng and Tesla. So, is NIO the most valuable company in China based on this report? No, it is not. Don't pay any attention to this report whatsoever. That said, yet another great day in the electric car world. There's been so many more electric cars bought this year than what there was last year. Things are improving immensely in terms of our air becoming cleaner. I know it's not happening fast enough, but don't worry, we'll get there. It'll keep on going faster and faster and faster than any of us, you and me included, can possibly imagine. Thank you for watching the channel, for subscribing and liking the videos. And let me know in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think BYD is worth more than NIO? Do you think I'm right, or do you think I'm wrong? I'm intrigued to know. Thanks for watching. See you again on the next one. Bye-bye.